What's good, YouTube? Super Insane 18 here, bringing you our second episode of the Road to Ranked series. Now, you can see that our rating went down a little bit. That is actually due to not playing over the last couple of days, as well as actually losing a battle that we did off screen. We wanted to test out this new team, so I played 2 battles. I got 1 win, 1 loss. Now, I know that I said that I was going to try and redo the first 2 episodes of Showdown Sunday, but I wanted to switch it up just a little bit to keep the content fresh. So I still have the Liepard Lapras core, but I did change up the rest of the team, and we're just going to go ahead and jump right in here. Okay, so I definitely want to bring either the Conkeldurr or the Charizard just for the Ferrothorn, because it has fire coverage. He's probably going to lead the Amoonguss and something else. I think the Liepard Lapras is actually a really strong lead here. Let's go ahead and we want to bring the Charizard because regardless of what Urshifu type that is, it is going to be fighting, so the Air Slash can take care of it. I know it's a little risky if it is the water one, but you know, we kind of have to take that chance. Unfortunately, we don't really have too much else to deal with it other than the Serena, but I'm a little hesitant to bring the Serena because the Azumarill can have Sap Sipper, but I think I actually am probably going to bring the Serena. Just looking at the rest of his team comp, I've got the Triple Axle for the Amoonguss. High Jump Kick is still super effective on the Ferrothorn despite it not being 4 times like fire. If the Azumarill isn't Sap Sipper, then the Power Whip will take it out. So yeah, let's go ahead and go with Serena, and let's see what my opponent brings. Probably butchering his name here, but Rombo di Tuano? Not quite sure where that name comes from. Alright, so he sends out the Arcanine Azumarill, which actually leaves us in a pretty decent spot. So he's going to Intimidate, but that doesn't matter. Neither of these Pokemon really care about their attack stat. I think I want to fake out the Arcanine so it doesn't get off any type of Snarl move, and then max Geyser into it. Worst case scenario, the Azumarill maybe uses a fighting move into our Lapras, but I don't think it should kill. The fact that our Lapras is maxing first here either means that he didn't max, or for whatever reason his Azumarill is slower than our Lapras. The Arcanine 100% would have maxed first if he was going to max it, so I think we made a good play with the fake out on that. But like I said, I don't think the Azumarill can take out the Lapras even if it uses a superpower. Worst case scenario, it will activate our weakness policy. So we do see here that he is maxing, so it's probably the Azumarill since it wasn't first. Alright, so we get the fake out on the Arcanine, and this should be a dead Arcanine. I don't see any world in which the Arcanine actually lives this. Okay, perfect. So, depending on what the Azumarill does, we'll see what we do next turn, but I'm thinking probably fake Tearsing into it, just so that it can get its, Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to fake Tears into it. I'm not sure what he quaked into. Okay, so he went into the Liepard. We live on our Sash, which is fine. He's going to get the special boost, but I think with a fake Tears and a max Lightning, we should be able to take it out, if not get very close. Alright, he sent out the Dusclops. Now, I'm not really worried about it too much. One of the cool things about Liepard is if he opts to set up the Trick Room and the Liepard lives through this turn, I can just copycat and get rid of the Trick Room priority, which is pretty nice. So we're going to fake Tears into the Azumarill slot, we're going to Lightning into the Azumarill slot, and hopefully this is enough to take that out. So with the Quake it was at +1, now it's at -1 because Fake Tears gets rid of it twice. Ooh, that has to be Assault Vested. That is way less damage than I thought it would be. That's fine. So he's going to go back up to neutral with this, which is a little unfortunate for us. If he sets up the Trick Room here, we don't have a way to get rid of it. But that's fine. Our Lapras isn't the fastest thing in the world. Granted, it's faster than his Azumarill. It's still, you know, it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so this is both of our last turns of Dynamax. I think the best course of action here would be to protect the Serena, and then we're actually going to Resonance into the Dusclops slot. This is just to get a little bit of chip damage off on the Dusclops. It'll set up our Aurora Veil, that way we take less damage. I don't want to click the Power Whip in case it is Sap Sipper. So I think on the next turn I'll Freeze Dry into the Azumarill, since it is going to be super effective on it. He goes for the Hailstorm. Through Protect it still does a decent chunk, looks like maybe 25-30%. But we're okay. I don't think that it's a deal breaker. What ice move would that be? Ice Punch? Probably. So the Serena might go down on this next turn. If I wanted to try and Pro Play, I could switch out into the Charizard, but that's definitely risky with a Azumarill staring me down. But we'll see what we can do here. I still don't know what the last mon on his side is. He's going to go ahead and take residual damage from the Hail that he set up, and our Dynamaxes are over. So I don't see a world in which he actually uses a water move into the Serena slot. So I do want to go into the Charizard, if I'm being honest, just to try to preserve the Serena, because from the range that the Azumarill is at, I'm hoping that 2 Freeze Dries will take it out, because I can just Protect on the Charizard on my next turn. So I'll maybe take an Ice Punch here and then Protect on the next turn. He's going to Pain Split into the Lapras slot, which is fine. It's going to put him back up to full. It's going to take me down by, again, 25-30%. He Ice Punches into the Serena slot, but now that Charizard's there, oh, that does a lot of damage. Oh, it's neutral because Flying type. That's fine, though. Yeah, so Freeze Dry is definitely a 2-hit KO, which means I can Protect on the Charizard here. That also allows me to stall out some turns of Trick Room. I think there are 3 turns left. I can check that really quick. Okay, we've only got 2 turns of Trick Room left, which is good. So let's Protect with the Charizard. We will Freeze Dry the Azumarill. Okay, so he withdrew the Azumarill. He wants to preserve that. He went out into the Ferrothorn. Not quite sure why he would switch into the Ferrothorn, staring down a Charizard. But that's fine by me. I can go for a Heat Wave next turn and do a good amount of damage. He wasted the turn with his Dusclops, trying to Nightshade the Charizard. And the Freeze Dry is going to go onto the Ferrothorn. We're going to get a little bit of chip damage. Okay, so the Ferrothorn is Life Orbed, or Leftovers, that is good to know. So let's go ahead and Heat Wave. And then Freeze Dry has a chance to freeze, right? Yep, may also leave the target frozen. With it being Stab, I think it's the best thing to use on the Dusclops. Just try and maybe hope for a little bit of hacks, getting a freeze on it. Ferrothorn's going to Protect. He wants to try and get a little bit of Leftovers recovery. We'll see the Nightshade onto the Charizard again. We'll live that, which is fine. But that means that he can just Nightshade us again on the next turn, which will take out the Charizard. Unfortunate for us, I don't think we'll be able to use that against the Ferrothorn. Like I said, we do have the high jump kick on the Serena for the Ferrothorn, but I still don't like the idea of just wasting the Charizard. Well, that was the last turn of Trick Room, so we still can Heat Wave here. And let's see, Hydro Pump's going to do more damage to the Dusclops. So let's see if we can do that. We're not going to get lucky with any sort of hacks. Okay, he's going to send the Azumarill back out. Even though it resists the Heat Wave, I think the Heat Wave is still going to take it out from that range. Okay, yeah. So, unfortunate, he's going to probably Nightshade the Charizard. We're not going to be able to use it against the Ferrothorn, but I think we're in an okay position. Okay, that really didn't do much. He's just going to Trick Room again, which is fine. I can protect the Charizard this turn. The Hail stopped, so I'm not going to take any more damage to it. And we can try and stall out the Trick Room again. I could just fire some Freeze Dries into the Ferrothorn if I'm being honest. It is neutral because Steel resists Ice, but that's okay by me. Let's go ahead and protect the Charizard, and let's Freeze Dry into the Ferrothorn. Dusclops either went for Nightshade or Pain Split. We see a Body Press coming against the Charizard. So that, yep, he Pain Splitted the Lapras, which is fine. He's going to gain a lot of HP back. I'm going to take a little bit, another maybe 20 to 30%. We're going to Freeze Dry the Ferrothorn and do, okay, we're going to get a crit. So it did a little bit of decent damage, probably because of that crit. Knowing that he's going to go for a Body Press, I think we switch out into the Serena. So let's switch into the Serena. We will Freeze Dry the Ferrothorn again. Okay, so he went for an Iron Defense. So maybe he went for the Nightshade into the Charizard with the Dusclops slot. Okay, yep. It's exactly what I thought he would do there. So we're going to get another Freeze Dry off on this Ferrothorn, and then I think the next Freeze Dry takes it out, even after the Leftovers recovery. Yeah, that looks like it's still within range. So let's protect on the Serena here, and let's Freeze Dry into the Ferrothorn. There's nothing the Dusclops can do to take out our Lapras here, so I'm not too worried about it. We got our Protect off, which means that the Ferrothorn didn't protect itself. It went for a Body Press into the Lapras, and that's going to be okay. That is unfortunate, but it is what it is. He went for the Nightshade into the Serena slot. At this point, I'm not quite sure we can win, if I'm being honest. Our Charizard is at 10 health. We've got the Serena, who's in Nightshade range. And he still has, I believe, 2 turns of Trick Room. My best case scenario is if I'm wrong about the Trick Room turns and he's only got 1. Okay, so he does only have 1. So I think what I do here is I kind of have to... No, I don't think there's a way to win either way. Let's triple Axle the Dusclops slot and protect the Charizard slot. This is our best chance. We have to get lucky, hope that he goes into the Charizard for whatever reason. The Serena can live. Okay, no, that is a dead Serena, which means best case scenario now on the next turn, we Heat Wave, take out the Ferrothorn, and the Dusclops takes us out. Well, actually, we'll die to Life Orb, so best, you know, I don't think there's a chance to win. I don't even think a crit will take out the Dusclops. So let's just go ahead and click it and see what happens. Okay, and the Ferrothorn had the Protect anyway, so it didn't matter. Unless now single damage crit can take out the Dusclops here, there's nothing that we can do. Well, no, we're Life Orb, we're done anyway. And that would not have even done it through a crit. So, unfortunate, our first battle this episode is a loss, but we take those. I think we did well given the situation that we were in. Azumarill's a little bit difficult because both Huge Power and Sap Sipper are incredibly relevant. You can never really know which is which until you hit it with a grass move and confirm. But let's just go ahead and keep running some battles. Ooh, that was a big drop. I don't remember what the rating of my opponent was, but that seems like it was way too big of a drop. Alright, so we're again, against a name I would butcher. He was rank 11,000 something. Based on the team, I think Liepard Lapras is again the best lead. Definitely want to bring the Serena in the back. It will resist the Toxtricity. It has super effective against the Primarina, the Ferrothorn, and the Rhyperior. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Conkeldurr. It's got super effective on the Primarina, the Ferrothorn, the Rhyperior. It's got the Assault Vest, so it can live some things. I think that's a good last one to bring. Alright, he's going to lead Alakazam Ferrothorn. That is fine. I think here what we do is we... is he going to max the Alakazam? I don't think there's a world in which he maxes the Alakazam. Let's fake out the Alakazam, and let's just get our Aurora Veil up early. Alright, so we know he didn't max because there's no way in the world that a Lapras is faster than an Alakazam. So we're going to get the Fake Out. That breaks any potential Sash on the Alakazam, usually the item that it runs. And this should take it out. Okay, maybe he was using it for Trick Room. Why did that do so little? What? Alakazam is supposed to be frail. Okay, the fact that it flinched last meant that he went for the Trick Room. I'm gonna Foul Play that, and then Resonance into the Ferrothorn, before the Ferrothorn gets any more boosts up. Okay, so he went for the Dazzling Gleam. Doesn't look like he's invested. Our Liepard didn't even go down to its Sash. This is definitely strange. I'm not quite... if he allows me to look at his team at the end, I'm definitely going to take a look at that setup for the Alakazam. Bulky Alakazam. That's definitely a new one. Alright, so the Ferrothorn's just going to try to set up a bunch of defense boosts and body slam me into another realm. On the next turn I should be able to take it out if I Fake Tears it, so I'm not worried. But it is our last turn of Dynamax and he still hasn't maxed himself. The Primarina's probably going to take out the Liepard here. So let's go ahead and we just want this Ferrothorn gone. It's setting up and we want none of that. So between Fake Tears and Resonance, that should be a dead Ferrothorn. Here he should be maxing the Primarina. I don't see any reason why he would max the Ferrothorn. Alright, yep. So there goes the Primarina. It's a little bad for us considering what we have in the back, but that's okay. We might be able to whittle it down a little bit, maybe waste out the Dynamax turns with some strategic protects. Okay, so he's going to overgrow into the Lapras. We've got our Aurora Veil up and we're Weakness Policy'd, so that does almost nothing, which means on the next turn we should be able to Fake Tears it and take it out with a Thunder, assuming that we don't... Well, actually, no. Let's not even risk the Thunder. Let's use Freeze Dry. It's still super effective. We don't have any less accuracy, and that should guarantee the kill on the Primarina. That should be a dead Ferrothorn. Okay, perfect. Okay, and based on the damage that it dealt and how high we are, I don't think that an Overgrow takes us out if we're not maxed. Okay, and Charizard is his last one, so with the Conkeldurr in the back, we can go ahead and Thunder Punch the Charizard, and I think we're fine. It's a little scary bringing the Conkeldurr in on a Primarina, but if all goes as planned, the Primarina will go down this turn. So let's go ahead and see. I don't think that the Overgrowth takes us out from the range that we're at. So he protected the Charizard, which I'm not sure why. I guess maybe he was thinking we would Hydro Pump into it. We're going to Fake Tears here onto the Primarina. Let's see if we're right and the Overgrowth does not take us out. Okay. That's a little unfortunate. I think what we do here is... I think we bring out the Serena. I'm a little scared with the Charizard facing me down, but the Power Whip is the only chance we have at getting rid of this Primarina here. So let's go ahead. We can Foul Play into the Charizard. It won't do much damage, but it will at least whittle it down a little bit. And then let's go ahead and just Power Whip. We'll do the best play that we have. Oh, that did a lot more than I thought. Okay, Liepard avoided the attack, which is unfortunate. That means it's going to be doing more damage on the Serena. We got a burn, which... That's so unlucky. Man, that's... Without the burn, we would have taken out the Primarina. That is just so unlucky. And our Aurora Veil runs off, so this is looking pretty bad for us. The Primarina is no longer maxed. We know that the Serena is faster than it, maybe if we protect it here. So we Thunder Punch the Charizard, we protect the Serena. As long as the Conkeldurr can live through whatever both of his mons are going to do and take out the Charizard. Okay, so the Charizard's going to go for Heat Wave. Our Conkeldurr is Assault Vested, so that should not do too much. Why did that do that much? Okay, and the Moonblast into the Conkeldurr. Can we live that? No, we cannot. Okay, and that is going to be game for us. Not quite sure why it did so much through the Assault Vest, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead, we will Power Whip the Primarina again. Our opponent got lucky with a burn, just kind of how it is. But you know, I want to show you guys that win or loss, I'm just going to bring you guys whatever content. I'm not one of those people that only wants to show you me winning. I'm not one of those people that's going to cut out whenever I lose and only show you the victories. You know, I'm here to learn. I'm here to improve myself as a player, and I'm here to bring you guys great content. Now, whether I win or lose, you know, it doesn't matter to me. Alright, and looking at the time of the video so far, I think we're only going to be able to get in one more battle. So we're going to go ahead and run that, and hopefully we can get a win. If not, we're just going to have to chalk it up to an unlucky session. Looks like it's taken a while to find an opponent here. Maybe that's because it's, you know, the middle of the day on a Wednesday. People are at work or school or, you know, whatever they might be doing with life. Midday Wednesday is definitely not prime time for Pokemon battling. Yeah, by the looks of it, it looks like we are not going to get an opponent. It's probably going to ask us to search again. I might cut it. I really don't like the idea of cutting for a ranked video, but you'll see that the win-loss ratio is still the same. I might just cut until we find a opponent. Alright, so after about 10 minutes of searching and having to go back and forward a couple of times, we finally found an opponent here. Looks like they've got a Stonejourner, Barraskewda, a Galarian Weezing, a Golisopod, a Urshifu, and a Rotom. I wanted to try to actually bring the Sableye Charizard lead for one of these, but with the Barraskewda, the Urshifu, and the Rotom, I don't think that is a good idea. I think, unfortunately, we're stuck into the Liepard Lapras lead again. Definitely want to bring the Serena here, and then the Charizard because it's got the ground-type move for the Weezing as well as the Stonejourner. Maybe we'll try to get one more battle in. I don't know. It seems like it's a little difficult to find an opponent at the moment, but I definitely want to bring the Sableye Charizard lead at least once, just to kind of showcase the Sunny Day Solar Power Life Orb Charizard. It definitely is a threat to be reckoned with. Alright, let's see what he leads. So we've got Barraskewda Weezing, so it is turning off our abilities, which makes sense. I think, honestly, what we do is we don't even try to fake out here, because the Barraskewda is probably going to max, and faking out the Weezing really won't do much. There's nothing that the Weezing can do that really hurts us. I think, well, could the Barraskewda be sashed? Let's predict that the Barraskewda is sashed. I think it's frail enough to die to a max lightning anyway, even without dropping its special defense. So let's assume that it's focus sashed, and we're just going to take out the sash. So even if it maxes, we'll do a little bit of damage. Okay, it didn't max. Again, there's no way in any sort of world that Lapras would outspeed a Barraskewda. So this is definitely the end of Barraskewda. Okay, no, it protected. That's fine. So it predicted the fake out, it protected. We're still going to do some good damage with our max lightning. I'm curious as to what the Weezing is going to do. We did almost 50% there. But I don't think there's anything threatening that this Weezing can do to us. Okay, he's just going offensive. He's going to Strange Steam into the Liepard. We're going to live on our Sash. Even if it, you know, didn't do enough damage, we still have our Sash. Okay, unfortunately we get the Confusion. I don't think it's a 100% chance. Let's take out the Weezing. I think we've neutralized the Barraskewda enough to a point where it doesn't matter anymore. It's at about 50%. It can't KO our Lapras. So Fake Tears and Resonance, we're going to get our Aurora Veil up. Okay, because of neutralizing gas, we don't get priority, which is fine. So the Barraskewda is going to take us out. We see that it is Life Orbed, so I'm even less worried about it now. It is now under 50%. It's going to do about 40% or so to the Weezing. We're going to get our Veil up, and again, there's nothing that this Weezing can really do that is any sort of scary to me. Even if we get poisoned here, we are Hydration, so setting up the Sand will be good for us. Let's go into the Serena. I don't want to bring a Charizard out when there's still a Barraskewda on the field. So we're going to Power Whip into the Barraskewda, and we're going to Geyser into the Weezing. This will just set up our Rain. That way our Thunders are 100% accurate after we Dynamax. Okay, so based on the ball, I'd say he's maxing the Barraskewda. which is definitely a little strange, just because of how low it is. The only reason I could think that is if Barraskewda gets Bounce, he might be trying to Airstream into this arena, which honestly I think would take us out. Okay, yep. Do we live that? We do. So thankfully I think this is a, you know, a good position. I don't think he went doubled into this arena, so we're going to Power Whip the Barraskewda and take it out, and with any luck this Geyser will do a good chunk of damage to the Weezing. Even if it does not and he did double into this arena, we send out the Charizard and we're still in a good position. Okay, so he just went for another Sludge Bomb. That time he does get the poison. We are setting up the Rain, so there is the chance that Hydration will get rid of the status effect. Is this... Okay, so the Weezing isn't done yet, but I'm not too worried about it because we can just take it out on the next turn. Alright, and we don't get lucky with the Hydration, but that's fine. So he sends out Urshifu, and it is the Water-type Urshifu. So that actually kind of makes me want to protect the Serena, and Freeze Dry into the Urshifu slot. We still have our Aurora Veil up, so I don't think there's any... Oh, why did I Protect? I've completely forgot that Urshifu just ignores Protect. Oh, Weezing with Neutralizing Gas. Okay, that's perfectly fine, actually. Okay, doesn't kill, unfortunately. We are still poisoned. Doesn't look like Hydration's getting rid of that. I think here we Triple Axle into the Weezing, and we just Freeze Dry into the Urshifu again. I'm not really worried about the Weezing, like I said. I've got the Charizard in the back that can just come in and take it out. The unfortunate thing is that the Urshifu is still faster than our Serena. He could also close combat here into the Lapras, and because we are so low, I think it might take out even through the Veil. Okay, so he went for the Protect, which is fine. We're going to take out the Weezing here. Neutralizing Gas wore off, which means he can now get through our Protects. Okay, and there goes the Hydration, so we no longer are poisoned, we will no longer be taking damage, and that was our Aurora Veil actually wearing off. Let's see what his last Mon is. I really feel like he wasted his Dynamax. His Dynamax would have been much more relevant on, honestly, either one of these Mons. I'm pretty sure he takes out the Serena, but it's way too tempting to just click a Hydro Pump into that Stonejourner, especially because the Stonejourner gives him additional attack. With our Charizard in the back, we should still be okay to take this thing out, because I think that the Stonejourner goes down to a Hydro Pump in the Rain, and then the Urshifu can't take out both of our Mons. Okay, now it definitely takes out as long as we don't die, and we hit. That will activate our Weakness Policy, and as long as we hit this, it should go down. Yep, and that is a dead Stonejourner. So now we can go ahead and throw in the Charizard. Oh, that's our Aurora Veil going off. Okay. But here we go in, we throw out the Charizard, we Air Slash, and we Freeze Dry. Like I said, there is no scenario in which the Urshifu can take out both of our Mons. He has to click on one or the other. So this is a win for us. Okay, and he just forfeits, understanding that there's nothing he can do, and we got ourselves a win. Unfortunately, it took us 3 games, but we got there. Let's go ahead. I know that I said this would probably be the last one, but I do want to try to showcase a lead other than Liepard Lapras. So we're going to go ahead and run one more. Hopefully it'll be a team that we can lead something different against, but we will see. hopefully it doesn't take us as long to find another opponent like it did last time. Okay, so we found one pretty quick here. Let's see what his team is. Okay, so that's actually a team that I feel like I could be comfortable with Sableye Charizard. The only thing is if the Urshifu is water, it's a little unfortunate, but we have multiple things that can handle it. I think we bring the Lapras in the back. It's got the Ice move for the Rotom Flying. It's got the Water move for the Talonflame. If the Urshifu is water, it will take that as well. And then I think we bring Serena, just because it's good physical coverage. It's got super effective on the Duraludon, the Rotom because of the Ice with Triple Axle. And honestly, we just need something that hits physically to deal with the Sylveon if he brings it. Alright, and they lead Grimmsnarl and Duraludon, which is okay. We can fake out the Grimmsnarl here to prevent it from setting up any sort of light screen. And then, honestly, I think it's best to max Quake the Duraludon. We'll get our special defense boosted up to handle it. It is super effective where the Wildfire would be neutral, and I kind of like trying to preserve the Wildfire just to, you know, get a little bit of residual damage for longer later in the game. Alright, so we're gonna max. I think Charizard is the fastest thing on field, so if he maxed the Duraludon, we wouldn't know yet. Okay, yep. And it looks like it is the Duraludon. I'm pretty sure the Duraludon's the one that came out of the Master Ball. Let's see if it's just a regular Dynamax or a G-Max. Looks like it is going to be a regular Dynamax. The G-Max Duraludon isn't really as good. Unfortunately, Depletion is not really a good max move. Let's see what happens here. Alright, so we fake that out. We get a crit, which is cool. Doesn't really matter. It looks like it had an eject button, so it was probably going to switcheroo that onto my Charizard. So faking that out was definitely a good play. And my opponent's going to bring out the Urshifu, and it is a water Urshifu. So that's a little unfortunate on our end. But I think we can be okay. Unfortunately, this Charizard is not running Overgrow. I instead opted for the Quake. We should definitely live that, but I am fairly worried here about the Urshifu. We do have Airstream, but typically speaking, Urshifus are sashed. So I think we foul play it. The Charizard's probably going to go down here. That's okay to take out the Urshifu, if I'm being honest. Okay, so the Urshifu went for a Protect, which is definitely a little unfortunate for us since we doubled into it. But as long as we can live whatever the Duraludon sends out to us this turn, we just take that out on our next turn. Based on the damage, we're not even halved yet, so... Okay, and it didn't even go for the Charizard. We're golden here. I think here now what we do is we set up our Sun. Well, no, let's not set up the sun yet, because we don't want to go down to the Duraludon. Solar Power will take our health. Let's go ahead, we will Quash into... Well, no, we're faster, we don't need to Quash. Yeah, let's Sunny Day, honestly. Sunny Day just sounds like it's the best thing for us to do at the moment. We definitely want to get the Urshifu out of here. We've got a high jump kicking Serena in the back. He's going to switch that out, which is fine. So we know all of the mons that my opponent brought. That did a ton of damage. Sylveon is usually a special defense wall. What in the world? Okay, I think we go down, if not to the Max Lightning, to the Solar Power at the end of the turn. Okay. That's fine, though. That was our last turn of Dynamax. Unfortunately, we didn't get our Wildfire up, so we don't get any sort of residual damage. But we should be okay. Honestly, I want to bring the Serena, and I just want to get the Sylveon out of the way. So, the Serena is definitely faster than the Sylveon, but I don't really know speed tiers. I don't know if it's faster than the Duraludon. We're going to go ahead, we're going to Quash the Duraludon, and we're just going to Power Whip. Actually, let's Triple Axle. It's got better accuracy, and it still should take the Sylveon out. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. And then we can High Jump Kick into the Duraludon on the next turn. Okay, so there goes the Sylveon. He's going to Flash Cannon. He did that into the Serena slot, which is fine. We live that. He got a crit. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So now, what does he have left? He's got the Urshifu, and we saw the other one, right? The Grimmsnarl. What's the bigger threat? Honestly, I think the bigger threat... Well, hold on, I can't... Okay, never mind, yeah. So let's Quash the Urshifu, and we will High Jump Kick into the Duraludon. Okay, so the Urshifu protected, so that's good news for us. If we are faster than the Duraludon here, we should be able to take it out. Okay. Okay, perfect. We are in a phenomenal position now. Worst case scenario is that the Grimmsnarl can fake out our Serena, which is a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Because we can just keep quashing this this Urshifu here. So let's do that. We are going to Power Whip into it. Okay, so he didn't fake out. Maybe he's setting up a Reflect to try to live it. Nope, looks like he's probably just going for a attacking move into my my Sableye. Maybe trying to kill me with a Spirit Break, but I am Roselli buried. Okay, so he went into the Serena. That's fine, it takes us out. But I think we are in a good position with the Lapras at full health. I don't think there's anything... Well, no, the Spirit Break is going to consistently bring down our special attack, which is unfortunate. And we don't really have a good move to use on the Sableye against it. So let's hope for some kind of freeze here, honestly. Okay, doesn't really do good damage. He's going to Spirit Break into the Lapras. That's going to lower our special attack. we do decent damage there. I kind of want to try to fire off Hydro Pumps instead because they'll do more. You know what, we'll protect. We'll just protect every other turn, do a little bit of chip damage with the Sableye. It'll get us, it'll make the battle last a little bit longer, but it'll put us in a better position from a damage standpoint. Let's see if he tries to get the Sableye out of the way here. Okay, he's going to go for a Thunder Wave, which is a little weird. You would think he would want to try to maximize his damage with the play that I'm making, but because he did that, we can actually not protect for a turn. We'll end up in the same position, so we're just going to Foul Play here again. We're going to Hydro Pump again, and this is looking like another win. As long as we can hit our Hydro Pump, that is. He Spirit Breaks into the Lapras again, puts us a little under half. We're going to get another decrease to our special attack. We missed, which is unfortunate. We're going to Foul Play again here. We're going to protect on the Lapras. Going back to our every other turn strategy here, just to make sure that there's nothing he can do that will take the Lapras out. I don't think that the Sableye can live this, or can win this on his own. But it actually looks like it probably will. Okay, so he went into the Sableye, realizing the strategy, went for the Spirit Break, but we are Roselli buried. We lived that with no problem, and now I believe the Foul Play will take it out on the next turn. And if it doesn't, we have the Lapras. We're going to go ahead and click the Freeze Dry to get rid of any sort of inaccuracy. And this should be another win for us. Alright, and there you have it. So we didn't get to utilize the Charizard as much as we wanted to. Our opponent made some pretty good reads, a couple of really good protects, and ultimately the Charizard didn't do much, but it got us in there. Definitely did a lot more to that Sylveon than I thought it would. But there you go. That is our second episode of Road to Rank. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you have any sort of Pokemon or teams that you want to see, leave it in the description down below, and I will do my best to bring that to you guys. But remember, you know, this is just a learning experience, so if you guys aren't sure about something, let me test it for you. Go ahead and send me the Pokemon, send me the set, and I will bring it on. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.